doubts with the if loop and the if statement? Okay, no doubts. And do you guys went through the assignment number 3 that was sent on the GitHub account?
Yes, sir. So I have a doubt with the first question.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know how to solve it. I mean, how do you define
Oh,
it?
okay, okay. Just a second. Let me just check the question first. Okay. Okay, so the first question says to write a program to give values to two variables and check if it is a square or a rectangle, right? So what you guys need to do is that first you have to describe any two variable. Let's say you took a variable A and a variable B and assign them any values. Okay. Now the condition, sorry. Now the condition here is that you have to check whether the variables that you have defined, if it is a square or it is not a square, right? So can you tell me what is a condition to see if a particular geometric figure is square or not?
It's supposed to be equal on all sides.
Right. So what you guys need to do is once you have the basic logic of understanding that okay, a particular geometric figure is a square if all the four sides are equal, right? Or you can say that the area of square is equal to side times square, right? Side square is the area of a square. So now you have two basic logics with you. Either you can create two variables having the same values, and then you can just use your if condition saying that if a is equal to b, then it is a square, otherwise it's not a square, right?
Okay.
Or because if it is not a square, then maybe it can be a rectangle, it can be any other geometric figure. What happens in a rectangle is the length and breadth are not the same, right?
Right.
So then what happens is, let's say you define a as 15 and b as 20, and then you can give the condition that if a is equal to b, then it's a square, else it's a rectangle. So if it will run the else condition because a is not equal to b,
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
right? So in that sense, you can do the if conditions.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So today we'll just start off with the if else statement that we previously had. We just go through briefly over this particular statement. So now that you have understood what if conditions are, sometimes what happens in an if else condition is that if a particular condition is true or if a particular condition is false. So what was happening in if condition was we were just considering one statement that if it is this, then it will give you the particular output. But what happens in certain conditions is that you have to have an alternative to a particular condition, right? So that times what happens is you have to give another condition considering the fact that if the first condition is false, then the second condition will happen, right? That times if else statement comes into play. So what happens is the first thing is you have to define a variable consisting of any particular value, and then you will give the expression, that is you will give the condition, that is a if condition. Now Python will first understand that okay, the user has given me a particular value to a variable, and then it will understand the condition whether the condition is true or not. So if the if condition is true according to whatever data that the user has given, then it will go into the if loop, and then it will run the whatever statement the user has defined it here, and then it will print the output. But if this condition fails, if the true condition fails, then it will go outside the loop to another condition, that is the else statement. Like if this is not true, then run this particular statement. Then the program will run your else statement, and then it will give you the particular output, right? So for example, a very basic example that we can say here is that let's say we have two variables and we define a value as a equals to 15 and let's say b equals to 20. And if we give a condition saying that if a is greater than b, then we print greater, else we print smaller, right? So when we run this particular statement, you see the output is smaller. right? Why? Because what happens is Python first uses the start function, and it sees that, okay, the user has given me two variables, and for those two variables, variable A is storing a value of 15 and variable B is storing a value of 20. Then it goes to the first condition where we have given that if our first variable A is greater than B, then we will have the output that the Python is supposed to give is greater. So Python studies this particular condition and then it says, oh, but the value of A is actually less than B. So this statement false. So Python won't go into this particular statement. It will go outside the loop and then it will run the else statement. That is, because this condition is false, I have to go and print the second condition that has been given by the user. So it prints the smaller condition, right? So is this okay with everyone, like if and else? Understood how the looping here happens?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Now sometimes what happen is this. So in if condition, what was happening was we were just giving a one particular condition, that if this condition is true, then give us this particular output. What happens in if and else is that you are giving two conditions, that if this first condition is not true, then run the second condition. But sometimes what happens is you are faced with multiple number of choices, right? You are not just faced with two choices or just one choice, you are faced with multiple choices. And at that time, your elif statement comes into play. That is, you have to give multiple else statements. So elif is basically else if. That is a short version of elif. And there what happens is you have to give multiple statements in order for Python to understand, okay, the first condition is not true, I'll go into the second one. If the second is also not true, I'll go into the third one. If third is not true, I'll go into the fourth one, and so on, right? So where you are required to give multiple conditions or more than two conditions to a Python program, you will use the elif conditions, if as well as elif conditions, right? So let's say for that, what we can do is, let's say we have a variable A and we set the value of variable A as 100, right? Now we are giving a first condition saying that if the value of variable is equal to 200, then print 200, right? Now if this is not true, right, then what you will do is, or it will print, it can also print the variable whatever the answer is. What you can next thing is do is you can run the elif statement, like the condition that you have to give, because now we are not giving two statements, we are going to give multiple statements. So that's why we are starting with the elif condition. So the first condition is, if my variable value is equal to 200, the output will be 200. Elif, if the value of A is less than 200, then the output will be let's say less, and else print more, right? So this is our condition. So what are the conditions? That first we have defined a variable A which stores a value of 100, and then we are giving three conditions saying that if the value of my variable is equal to 200, then the output will be printed as 200. Otherwise, if the value of my variable is less than 200, the output that I should get is less. Otherwise, it should print you the more option, right? So when you run the system, when you run the program, your output is less. Why? Because Python first goes into this particular statement, and then it says that, okay, A is not equal to 200. So this condition is not true. So it won't run this particular statement. It will go into the elif statement, the second statement. It sees the second statements and says that the condition is the variable should have a value less than 200, and that is true here because the value of A is 100. So it says that, okay, this particular statement is true, so whatever output the user wants from this particular statement, elif statement, I will print it. So it prints you the answer as less, right? In the similar way, you can add multiple statements like elif, 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 keep on editing elif, and then you can add multiple statements. Now the thing to note here is that sometimes what happens when you are writing, let's say you have to write 10 statements, right? And you have written till 9 statement, the last statement you have to write it as else, right? Because what that means is, let's say you have 10 options, and out of those 10 options you have already given 9 options with a particular condition, that if this happens then you should print this, if this happens then you should print this, and the same way you have given 9 conditions. So obviously whatever is not included or whatever hasn't been defined by the user in the first 9 conditions will automatically go to the last condition. So in that way, you won't have to actually write elif in the last statement that you want to give. You can just write else and run it. So whatever is not true in these two statements, or let's say you have written three statements, so whatever is not true in the above conditions, it will automatically go to your final else condition. Sometimes what happens is, let's say in the flow of writing, you don't write else, you have written elif as it is. Then also Python won't discriminate it. It won't give you an error. It will run it as it is, right? So it doesn't matter if your last statement you have written is elif or else. Python won't discriminate in that. It won't give you an error. It will just run it whatever you have written. So is this clear with everyone?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
No issues?
सर एक मिनट,
Yeah.
एक्चुअली अब आपने जो बताया एल्स हम तभी यूज करेंगे जब ऊपर के दिए हुए सारे कंडीशंस हमारे फॉल्स होंगे, तब एल्स यूज करेंगे लास्टली, या फिर
नहीं, वो जरूरी नहीं है. What happens is कि आप else तब यूज करोगे जब, फॉर एग्जांपल लेट्स से मेरे को 4 कंडीशंस देने हैं, ठीक है? तो मेरा पहला कंडीशन इफ रहेगा, क्योंकि मेरे को कंडीशन स्टार्ट करना है. सो फर्स्ट कंडीशन विल बी इफ, फिर सेकंड एंड थर्ड कंडीशन मेरा elif रहेगा. नाउ फोर्थ कंडीशन जो मेरा रहेगा, तो सबसे लास्ट कंडीशन रहेगा, दैट विल बी else, राइट? इट डजंट मैटर कि पहले दो कंडीशन ट्रू है या नहीं है. फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पे सेकंड कंडीशन ट्रू है, राइट? तो इट डजंट मैटर कि लास्ट कंडीशन आपका एल्स है या नहीं है. जो भी कंडीशंस आपने दिए हैं उसमें से जो भी ट्रू होगा पाइथन वो रन करेगा, राइट? व्हाट आई जस्ट मेंट टू से हियर वाज कि कभी कभार क्या होता है ना कि लोग एलिफ के जगह पे, यहाँ पे एल्स के जगह पे एलिफ ही लिख देते हैं लास्ट के स्टेटमेंट में भी. तब भी पाइथन डिस्क्रिमिनेट नहीं करेगा. इट विल गिव यू द राइट रिजल्ट नो मैटर इफ यू यूज एल्स और एलिफ हियर, राइट? जस्ट समटाइम्स लोग अगर एल्स यूज करते हैं, दैट जस्ट शोज कि यहाँ पे कंडीशनिंग खत्म हो गया है. लाइक जितने भी मेरे पास कंडीशंस थे, मैंने सारे कंडीशंस दे दिए पाइथन को. नाउ इट्स टू पाइथन व्हाट द रिजल्ट दे हैव टू गिव बेस्ड ऑन द वैल्यू डिफाइंड बाय द यूजर. Okay. Okay. So now we'll go to the third type of loop, which is, or third type of statement, which is known as a nested statement. Now, what nested statement says is that nested basically means one within the one, like loop within loop or wheel within the wheel type of thing. So nested is कि एक के अंदर एक वो सारी चीजें होंगी, right? So what happens here is that the start of the statement will obviously start with a definement of a variable. You will have a variable defined with a particular value. And then you will go to the first condition. So if the first condition is not true, if it is false, it will go to the second condition. But if the first condition is true, it will run the code block, that is the statement that is defined by the user in the first condition, right? What code block basically means is this. So if this condition is true, print 200 is the code block of if. If this condition is true, then print less is the code block of elif. So this is what is meant by the code block, okay? But if this, let's say, first condition is not true, if it is false, it will go to the second condition. In a similar way, it will go to the third condition. So this representation is basically a representation of an elif statement, right? If and elif. But sometimes people also use these kind of flowcharts for the nested statements. Now, what nested statement does is that sometimes what happens, let's say your condition number 1 is true. So it will run your first code block. But what happens is inside this code block, you have also given another if or elif statement. So those elifs are within this major elif, right? So consider condition 1 as a big umbrella, and inside that umbrella there are 4 people, and all those 4 people are individual conditions. So it happens like a nested thing, like the major class is your umbrella, and inside that umbrella there are 4 people, that is there are 4 conditions. So that is how your nested statement works. I'll quickly give an example so it will be easier for you guys to understand. So let's say we take a similar example. So we have defined a value of a as 100, and let's say our first condition will obviously will be if. So if a is, let's say I give if a is less than 200, my first condition, then it will print less. Now keep this thing in mind. In previous example, what we did was we were not starting our next condition under the print, right? We were starting our next condition from here, like else and whatever your condition was. So what this means is that you have breaked out of your if loop, because now what initially we were doing was when Python was running this particular program, it was breaking out of the system from here. What it says that if this condition is true, then it will print your less than or whatever output that you want. But then after this statement, after print, there is nothing that is there in the if loop, right? So how would you recognize whether a particular thing is inside a loop? You have to keep focus of the indentation mark, as I told you in the previous lectures. So you have to look in the indentation here. So if this indentation is from here, that means this particular print statement is inside the if loop. And then I have breaked out of if loop because the next line starts from the very beginning. It doesn't have any indentation. That means this else is not inside if, it is outside of if, right? But what happens sometimes is that you have to repeat certain condition inside the main umbrella condition. So let's say if is our main condition, and then I write else from here. Just a second. Okay. If, and then let's say you have given another condition, let's say if a equals to 150, and then we'll print it. Now see here what was happening was, let me just comment this out. See, when I was writing else from here, and as soon as I start the colon, it automatically shifts else to the very starting of the line. Because what happens is Python recognizes that if you're writing an else statement, that automatically gets out of the loop. That is not inside the if condition. So to start a nested statement, your first statement inside the major loop will also be an if statement, because that's how you start any condition, right? So inside your if, the first condition will also be an if. As soon as I write else and put a colon here, it automatically shifts else to the first line, because Python automatically recognizes this, that in a nested kind of loop, the first statement can't start from else, right? Because what is else? Else is basically a second option that you are giving, right? If this doesn't happen, then you go for this, right? So in a nested condition, you can't directly start from go to this. You have to give a first condition, right? First you do this. If this is not true, then go to the second condition, right? So that's why in a nested condition as well, the very first condition will be your if statement, and then you can follow it up with your else statements. So here we will write, let's say if a is equals to 150, then we will print let's say not equal or whatever you want, right? Now you can write it else from here, else. So now this else and this if is inside this main if loop here, right? Or you can write the multiple statement here as well. If you want to write a multiple statement, you can obviously go with your elif statement. So you can go with elif, and then you can say, let's say a is equal to 10, and then you can print whatever you want. Let's say xyz, whatever you want, and then you can end it with else, print, let's say abc, whatever it is. And then if you want to break out of this if loop, then you will obviously go with the starting of your line here. Just a second. So then what happens is now these three conditions are within my main condition of if. So if I want to break out of this if loop, I have to again start off with from here. Then it breaks out of the if loop. And for obviously for this main if condition. So for this if condition, these two are the alternate solutions, right? If this doesn't happen, go for this. If this doesn't happen, go for this. But for this main if condition, we haven't given a particular what do you say, a alternative solution, right? So it depends upon you. If you want to give an alternative solution, you can. If you don't want, you can, whatever, it's your choice. So let's say I just give an else condition to this particular solution. If this is not true, the main umbrella condition is not true, then it will not go into these things. It will automatically skip the loop and go to the else condition. And let's say I write print whatever it is, let's say ast, whatever it is, right? And then you will just go for the print function, and it prints here abc. So abc, what we have given here, we have given as abc, right? So it is basically running this function. So what now Python recognizes is it considers the very first situation here, and then it says that okay, the variable, the values to given by the user is 100. Now it goes to the first condition. So the first condition was if the value of the variable is less than 200, and this is true because the value of a is less than 200. That means our major umbrella condition is true. Then it goes inside and it says, should I print less or not? So for that, without printing less, it first sees whether there are different conditions inside this if loop or not. So it sees that, okay, after print also I have certain conditions. So I have first to see this particular conditions are true or not, then only I can print this one, right? So because this condition is only valid if a is less than 200, but again if a is less than 200 we have given multiple conditions. If a is less than 200, then go for these things. So then before printing this particular statement, it goes to run for this statement. So it will first say if a is equal to 150, then this condition is not true because a is 100, so it skips this condition. It goes to elif condition. It says a is equals to 10, this is also not true, so it skips this condition as well. And then it goes to this condition. It says, okay, else I have to print. So if these two conditions are not true, I will print and I will go for ABC. So then it goes for ABC and then it breaks out of the loop and then it gives you the final answer as ABC. Is it clear with everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll also look at the application for these things as well as we go on using different kind of loops. So now these were basically your three types of statements that are commonly used in any kind of looping system, whether be it if loop, whether be it a for loop or a while loop, right? So these are the basic three statements: if, else, elif, or any kind of a nested statements. Now we'll be looking at what is known as also called as sometimes a single statement condition. So what the single statement condition means is that sometimes, let's say you don't have any condition. Let's say you have only one condition that you want to give to your system, right? In that time, what you can do is that you can, instead of writing multiple statements or instead of writing any statement in a second line, you can only go directly in the first line itself, right? So let's say you have a variable and let's say you have stored a 15 and you have given a condition, let's say a is equal to 15. So instead of writing your print function in the next line here, you can directly write it here. Let's say you wrote print and let's say you wrote ABC, ABS, whatever it is, and then you print it. So it will give you the answer automatically. So this is also known as a single statement. Like if you know the variable, you know the condition, you can directly write it in the first line. And this is commonly used when like the programs are really short or where user can directly identify what the condition is. And it's really easy for user to define it verbally. So that's why you can go for a single line. But it's only like said to do when you have a program which is really short, like 2-line or 3-line programs. It is not recommended for programs which are like much lengthier in cases, right? So next thing that we'll be focusing are on the loops. Right? So there are mainly two types of loop, that are for loop and while loop. But also there are different kind of sub loops which are known as nested fors or nested while. So it is basically what we understood in the nested statements. That's what a nested for loop will be, like a for within a for. That is what is known as a nested for. And similarly, a while within a while is known as a nested while. And sometimes in for and while loop, you can also use like if loop, if statement inside a for loop, or an else statement inside a for loop. And in the similar way, you can use like if and else statement in a while loop or a nested while loop or a nested for loop, right? We'll be looking at like all those examples, so it will become easier for you. So what a while loop does is, so this is the basic syntax of a while loop. That is while, and then you will give a particular expression, whatever expression. For example, when we were writing if here and we were giving a particular statement here, so that is what is meant by expression. So you'll write while and you write the expression or the condition that the user wants, and then you will write a statement or multiple statements, whatever a large amount of statements that you want, you can go and print it. In the same way as the if loop works, similarly your while loop works in the same way, right? That doesn't have any kind of issue. The only thing you guys have to note while working with a loop is the indentation. That is really important, right? So we'll cover one topic as well where we will only discuss about the kind of errors that you can get in a particular program. So sometimes it will be a value error, sometimes it will be an indentation error, sometimes it will be a syntax error. So we'll also look at those things. But while working with any kind of loops, the only major thing you guys have to keep in focus are the indentations. You have to keep in think how the indentation works, right? So we'll take a very basic example of a while loop. Let's say, so while I'll also tell you how, so once this program runs, you will be able to understand it. Let's say I want to print a particular number from 0 till 9, okay? So what I can do is, I can, let's say, start off with a number, variable a, and I'll give it a value of 0. So I want to start from 0, and then I want my loop to iterate itself up until the value reaches till 9. So I start off with a variable a and I gave it a value as 0. Then you will start your while loop. What while basically stands for is jab tak, like जब तक ये चलता रहेगा, जब तक ये कंडीशन ट्रू है तब तक लूप चलता रहेगा. जैसे ये कंडीशन ट्रू नहीं हुआ, जैसे ये कंडीशन फॉल्स हो गया, the while loop will break. right? So that is what basically is meant by while. So your first, so what is your condition? So basically your condition is to print the number. So no, the number shouldn't go beyond 9. So what you can do is while a is less than 9, like जब तक मेरा number 9 से कम है तब तक ये loop चलता रहेगा, and after that it will break out of the system, right? So this is my condition while a is less than 9. What you will do is you will print the number is, and then here you will have your variable a, right? So everybody understands this particular statement? Just tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So this a is what we will have our as a count value, right? So this is this thing will be printed as it is, and then corresponding to this thing, the value will be a count. That is whatever count we are giving it here, right? But now what happens is you have given the condition that while a is less than 9, print the number is a, whatever the value of a at that particular instant of time will be, right? But here you see you can't print it till 9. The only answer that you will get is 0, because when you run it here, the only value that you have given your, so now you see it goes into an infinite loop. So I'll also discuss about what infinite loops are. So this went into an infinite kind of thing because I haven't broken I haven't broken out of the system, right? So that's why the system goes into an infinite loop, and you will see the number is 0 0 0 0. It's keep on repeating itself. So we can stop that. So to stop any kind of an infinite loop, you will just have to, you see a red button here, just click it and the process will be finished, right? So what was happening is, you see, I only got the answer as the number is 0 0 0 0, right? But what I wanted to receive was the number is 0. Then in the next line, the number is 1, the number is 2, the number is 3, right? But for that thing, I haven't given any condition. I have just given a condition that if the value of a is 0 and I printed it, but I haven't updated my number. I haven't updated my variable. So to update your variable, what you have to do is you have to update the value of your variable as well. So now a will be equal to a plus 1. Either you can write it in this way or you can write it in this way, plus equals to 1. Both other statements are similar, right? So now what Python does is that first it goes to understand this particular value, that okay, user has given me a particular value a whose particular variable a whose value is 0. Now it goes to the while condition, and then it sees the first condition. It says that okay, the condition is a should be less than 9. So is 0 less than 9? Yes, 0 is less than 9. That means this condition is true. Then it will go inside the loop. In the loop, the first condition, the first statement that Python has to print is the number is a. So it will print the number is 0. So let me just run this particular file here. So here you see the output that we get is the number is 0, the number is 1, the number is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So it will go till 8. So what happens is the first what it will print is the number is and the value of your a. So it prints the number is 0 because initially the value of a was 0. Then it goes to second line and it sees that now user has given me a condition. What is the condition? That whatever value of a now is, we have to update it by a value of 1. So Python will add 1 to the already existing value of a, that is 0. So the output will be a plus 0 plus 1, that is 1. Now what, instead of breaking out of the loop, what Python will do is Python will again go back to the while loop and see whether the condition is still true or not. So now it says while a is less than 9. So now the value of a, that is the updated value of a, becomes 1. So is 1 less than 9? Yes, the condition is true again. Then it will again go into this loop, and then it will print this value, that is the number of a is number is 1. And then it goes into the second round and then sees okay, I have to update the value again by 1. So 1 plus 1 becomes 2. Then it again goes back to this particular loop, sees the condition, it says okay, the condition is still true. It will again go and repeat the same thing. It goes on up until the value of a is now 8. Okay, now when the value of a is 8, then again it goes to this line and it says okay, the user wants me to add 1 to 8 again. So it adds 1 to 8 and the value will be 9. Now again it goes back to the while loop and says that now whether this condition is true or not. So now this condition fails, right? Because a is less than 9, that is the condition, but 9 is not less than 9. 9 is actually equals to 9, right? That means this condition now breaks. Now this condition is not true for the value of 9. So that's why the Python will then break out of this loop. That means this condition is not true. It won't go into inside the while loop. It will break out of the loop and then give you whatever the result it has given you up until now. So the final result will be the number is 8. Is this clear with everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Understood how while loop basically functions, right?
सर वो एक बार नंबर अपडेट करने का जो तरीका था उसका एक दूसरा एग्जांपल आप दे सकते हो क्या? मतलब नंबर जैसे अपडेट किया आपने तो वहां रुक गया तो
Okay,
उसका
so
हाँ
तो for example let's say कि मुझे 9 भी प्रिंट करना है. Okay, let's say now what happens is यहाँ पे ये जो सिचुएशन अभी है, जो कंडीशन हमने अभी दिया है उसमें 9 का वैल्यू फिट नहीं बैठ रहा है, राइट? क्योंकि जैसे ही a का वैल्यू 9 होता है ये कंडीशन फॉल्स हो जा रहा है. ओके,
तो इधर पे इक्वल्स टू लग जाएगा, बस a इक्वल्स टू 9 लिख देंगे तो 9 तक रन करेगा बस.
a इक्वल्स टू 9 नहीं लिखना है, a इज लेस देन इक्वल्स टू 9.
ओके
मतलब क्या हुआ कि जब तक a का वैल्यू 9 या उससे कम रहे,
हाँ ओके ओके सर
तब तक वो while लूप चलता रहेगा. ठीक है, तो बेसिकली while लूप अगर हिंदी में बोलूं तो while लूप का बेसिकली मतलब ये होता है कि जब तक ये कंडीशन ट्रू है तब तक वो लूप चलता रहेगा. जैसे ही ये कंडीशन फॉल्स हुआ ये while लूप खत्म हो जाएगा एंड जो भी आउटपुट हमको है अभी तक वो मिल जाएगा.